So I'm super excited to shoot this premiere video with you guys for a couple reasons. Number one being it is my first premiere. So first of all, what is a premiere video? A premiere video is a pre-recorded video that I get to stream live to you guys. Now, I'm super excited about this because the chat feature still works. So if you guys have any comments or questions, make sure you post them in the chat and I will still be there to type you guys back. Okay? Now the second reason I'm excited is because I'm going to try to keep this footage as uncut and raw as possible. Okay? So I need new sealant in my rear tire here. About 6 months ago, I put in slime sealant and I've maybe topped it off once. Now I have to say during that time period, it did seal up holes well, but now after 6 months and topping it off, I think it's starting to dry out because my holes aren't sealing very well. So we're going to replace it today with some Stan's no tubes. I've heard a lot of good things about Stan's, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And here's what I'm going to be using to do the job is a new valve stem, a syringe to insert the sealant in the valve core, and then some tire levers to help get that tire off. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like I said, the live chat feature is still good. So post your comments, questions, tips, tricks over here in the live chat, and I'll be right there commenting back with you guys. Stay tuned. Okay, so first update I have for you guys is I want to talk about these hand-up gloves. I am not sponsored by them. I just want to make a quick note for you guys, okay? They are lightweight, they are breathable, and they're just a good all-around, comfortable, all-season glove. And that's exactly why I wanted these gloves. So I purchased these myself. These were around $22, I think. But they do have one little con to them, I guess you could call it, and that is they're not touchscreen friendly. So when I have this glove on, and I go to like pull out my phone during a ride just to check messages or like pause Strava or do anything like that, it doesn't work on my phone screen. I literally can't even open it, and that's like the most annoying thing because we're in the 21st century and I hate to say it, but we use our phones during our mountain biking. That's just how it is. We time our rides, we take pictures, that's just what we do. So that is the only con I have of these gloves. Otherwise, they are lightweight, breathable, and super comfortable. Now, the next thing I want to show you guys, I'm super pumped about because I had to do some digging on Amazon to find this thing. And if you don't know this about me, one of my favorite sweet treats are cookies. I don't care what kind of cookie it is. Any type of cookie, I am all about it. So this is what I found on Amazon, a new riding jersey. I am super pumped about this thing to check it out. So look at this, look at the back. It says ride bikes, eat cookies. So I'm super pumped. You'll be seeing that in a few upcoming videos whenever I get to finally hit the trails. Okay, I think we are ready to get started. Alright, so like I said, this is going to be as uncut and raw as possible, so I don't want to do too many edits on this. Okay, and I'm actually going to scoot forward because that's a better shot right there. So what I'm going to do is I'll start with letting all the air out of my tire. Who knows? I may fast forward through this part because it's super boring, but it gives you guys a chance to see the actual process that this takes, because it can be kind of a pain in the ass if you don't know what you're doing. And to be quite honest, I really don't know what I'm doing. I just have done it a couple times, and it's just experience at this point. Now, if you want to do this faster, you can actually take this valve out, this whole core, and you can do it that way. And actually, I have my, you know what? I have my multi-tool here. It's got a valve core remover on it. At least it should. Guys, this multi-tool is super nice. I really, really like it. It's a Vibrelli. You guys ever heard of that brand? I know you probably can't. It's not going to focus. There you go. Maybe. Vibrelli. Anyways, I found it on Amazon. It was like 23 bucks. And it's been super good. It's been one hell of a tool. So, like I said, I'm just taking my valve stem out here. It looks like it's this size. Looks like it might be a little stripped. It's having trouble grabbing onto it. So as I'm taking this out, make sure you guys give me some tips and tricks and all the things that you have done to make tubeless easier. So next step is once you have that valve core out and you've gotten all the air out of the tire, you don't need all of it, but it's time to break the seal on this one side here. So I'm going to start opposite of the valve, and you just use a gorilla grip and you just push like that with your thumbs, and you just work your way around. So now that you've broke that seal on the bead, you can actually work it all the way around. So now the entire tire on this one side is off. Okay, so I want to show you guys, I can't believe it. This slime sealant actually, hope you don't get sick, but maybe I'll move the tire to you. It's actually still wet. Check that out. It's still got some sealant in there that's active. It's not dried up yet. And I'm kind of amazed, to be honest with you. But that's okay. So what I'm going to do next is I actually want to replace this valve right here, this valve stem, because I have a new one that's actually a little better. So I'm going to work on getting these off here. Oh man, the sealant has really gotten those to stick. These. Oh. Okay, I'm going to have to grab some tools. Okay, so now that these are loose, these should come off by hand. Oh man. This is why it can be a little bit of a pain in the ass to get these off of there. But you know what? It was probably my fault. I think I over-tightened it in the first place. Unless this sealant is just as good as it says it is. You know what's funny? Is the whole first 2 minutes I was trying to get that off there, I was trying to tighten it. I told you, I don't know what I'm doing. Come on. This is where it gets frustrating, people. So I'm having trouble breaking this bolt loose on the bottom here. I'm just going to keep working at it, but for future reference, can you put in the comments below what I should do differently? Because I can't get this threaded nut off that's holding it on there. It's got sealant wrapped around it, and I mean, it is like on there. So I don't know what to do. I'm gonna keep working at this, and maybe I'll see you guys in just a couple minutes. I'm gonna turn the camera off and really work at this thing. Probably be some cuss words said, so I can't have that on YouTube anyways. Okay, so about 5 minutes later now, I actually have been working on getting it out. So what had happened is, hey, you're right in the shot. Thank you. So what had happened is that the nut that secures the valve stem to the rim, it actually was seized on there. I don't know if it got cross-threaded or if the sealant just built up around it, but I was actually able to get some vice grips on it and then just pound it down like this through the hole. And that's it right there. I just got the old valve stem out, and it definitely needed to be replaced because that thing was leaking to begin with. But what I was worried about when I was doing this is whether or not it could damage the rim. But everything seems to be okay. I just have some leftover rubber in there from this valve stem. So I guess we'll see if it's truly damaged when we go ahead and take this or replace it with the other valve. So what I'm going to actually do now, I forgot that I have to clean out the old sealant. So I need to break the other side of this bead. So this side is still sealed. So same way, you just use your thumbs and you push it off the bead like that. And now once you have it this way, man, see, yeah, it is starting to dry up there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's starting to get a little chunky. Once you have it like this, if you can, you want to pull one side of the tire over the rim without using tire levers. But with these thick tires like this, I'm gonna need some tire levers. Okay. How do you guys like this raw, uncut footage? If you like it, let me know in the comments below, and then I'll continue to make videos like this. But most of the time, I edit a lot of my videos. Okay, so now you just use that lever to pop the tire over the bead like that. Just like this. I hope you guys can see that. Use that lever to pop the tire over the bead. And then you can simply just work your other one in like this. Yeah, there you go. And then you can slide that around there. And you can just keep working that one side off. Now you got to do the same for the other side. But normally it'll come off without a lever. See how it's already peeling away? There it goes. So now I got sealant everywhere. My tire is full of sealant. But this sealant is actually, I don't know if you guys know, but it's water soluble, so it's easy cleanup. And let's take a look at some of the sealant inside the tire. It looks like it's dried up. So let me show you guys this, if you can see. So it's dried up a bit. Man, I'm right in the light. I got terrible light here. It's dried up a bit, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe this tire. I'm actually going to rinse this tire out and wipe the rim off, and then we should be good to go. So I'll be right back again. Okay, so I've got my tire washed out, and I've got my rim wiped off. So there's no leftover slime in there, and I gotta say it was starting to dry out, but it's just enough to seal small holes. Now, I want to say, so I remember the reason why I went tubeless in the first place. And that was because when I was in New Mexico, we had these things called goat heads. And that was actually the reason why I went tubeless in the first video. So, as I was like washing this thing out and I was running my hand on the inside, I was getting stabbed by like hundreds, I'm not even kidding, hundreds of goat head, like the tips of their thorns. I'll even pull one out for you guys right now. But they're just surrounded in sealant. I mean, all these little thorn heads are stuck in my tire still. So, I hate to say it, but I might need a new freaking tire. If this doesn't seal up with the stands, I might just have to break down and buy a new tire. But we're going to try it anyways, and hopefully it works, because I'm riding in Santa Cruz this weekend. So it's going to have to work. So the first step in reinstalling the tire is we're going to put it on the rim and get it sealed up, at least one side of the bead, before we put any sealant in. Okay, so this is called sealing it up dry. Man, I just sound so fancy with all this shit. So, let's see, you need to find your valve hole. Okay, so my valve hole is right over here, if you can see where my finger's at. And then what we're going to do is you need to put your Maxxis, or whatever the brand is, the opposite side of the valve hole. Okay, so we're going to go like this. And then once we get it here, it's just a matter of pushing the tire on the rim or getting the tire seated. So this is kind of an awkward thing to do in the position that I'm in, but I'm going to try it anyways. Because at least it's entertainment on your part, and you can tell me that I'm doing it totally wrong. Okay, so let's do this. Working one side of the bead in. Okay, here we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Really try not to use tire levers when I can, because tire levers really do, they mess up your rim. So now I'm going to put the other side in, and same thing, you just work it along the tire as best as you can. And sometimes if you add soapy water to it, it'll slip on. So now my tire is over the rim all the way around. Wow, it just slid. I was not expecting that. There we go. Okay, so now my tire is over the rim all the way around. So what I'm going to do is I have some soapy water here with a sponge. And then I'm going to just coat the outsides of the tire along the rim and pump it up, and that'll help seal it. And so I wanted to talk to you guys while I'm doing this as well, because I am celebrating 1,500 subscribers, which I am super pumped about, and I need to thank you guys because I couldn't do it without you. I mean, I literally wouldn't have 1,500 subscribers without you. So I want to thank you guys, and please, 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 if you've been here from less than 100 subscribers, let me know in the chat over here to the right. I really want to know who you guys are that's been the OGs, the originals, to help support the channel, because those are the guys that really made it all possible, and I'm super thankful for. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I have no way to air this up because I didn't put the valve stem in. So I was too busy talking. But let me put this valve stem in here, and then we'll get it aired up for you. But like I said, guys, I really, really freaking appreciate all the support I'm getting from my current subscribers and my OG subscribers. I mean, really, it makes it all worth it. You know, 1,500 subscribers was like a year goal, and I did it in like 7 or 8 months. So I'm super thankful for that. So I'm just going to go ahead. All I did was peel back this tire, and then I'm just going to slide the valve in through just like that. And then you can get it as hand tight as you want, but you just put this little rubber O-ring over, slide it up to the top, all the way to the top. Now, once you get it all the way up there, then you just slip your little stem nut on there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hand tighten it to where it seals. And you can actually watch, as you're screwing it, you can watch your valve stem top kind of sit down in the hole there, the valve hole. And then it kind of gives you a good peace of mind that it's going to seal up properly. And if it needs some help, then go ahead and just push it down with your finger just a little bit to seal it, and then hand tighten the stem nut on the bottom. Okay, so now that we have the dishwash, the soapy water around the rim, I think we're ready to put some air in here. Got a bump. Okay. And like I said, this is actually called a dry seal. So what this means is that you haven't put any sealant in it yet. You're just seeing if it's going to hold up and seal against the bead. So let me pump this fast. And you guys should hear. Okay, so right now we got some air escaping. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of change the camera angle for you guys. This is what I like to do. And it really helps me seal up the tire. Man, this is so hard doing it uncut and unraw. So here's what I like to do. The valve is over here, right? So I like to pull the tire up around the rim and even sit it flat, so that way less air gets out, especially around the valve. So you just pull that tire up on the side of the bead like that, and a lot of times it'll come right out of it, and it'll start taking air. Okay, so it's not taken just yet because it's leaking too much. And to be honest with you, it might be that the tire has stretched. You know what I mean? Now that I've taken it off and on a couple times. So what we have to do is get this sucker to seal up. And this is why you add the soapy water, because it'll help keep the air in and really seal that tire to the bead. Okay. Just keep pulling that tire up onto the bead manually, and that'll help as well, at least with this one side here. Just work your way around the rim when you have the tire up on the bead like that, and then that'll help it sit. Okay. Okay, let's try it again. There we go, that sounds much better. Listen for the ping. pop. There it goes. Okay. So we got good initial seal. Keep in mind so I'm gonna bring you back up here. Okay. Whew, I'm out of breath pumping that. So, keep in mind I just wanted to do this to see if it's gonna seal up to the bead or not. You can hear some air escaping. And it's right here at the valve. So, if we get that tightened down, I can even do it with my hands. And now we're almost there. And there we go. So you can get that tightened down enough, even with your fingers, to seal it. And no more. So now we have it seated up against the bead. And what we can do, now that we know that it's going to sit there, we can take the valve core out. It's going to let all the air out, but your beads of the tire are still set in the rim. And now what we can do is we can inject our stands no tubes in through the valve core, so we don't have to take the stem out, we don't have to reset the bead. We are good to go. I'm so happy this sealed. Here we go. Okay, so more difficulties, but I can't get the valve core out. I don't know why it's stuck in there. They were cheap valves, who knows. We're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. So now, here's what we're gonna have to do. We have to take one side of the tire bead off and then pour the stands no tube in it that way. And I've seen it done both ways. I've done it both ways. I like the no mess of taking the valve core out and then inserting it that way, but what are you gonna do? So I'm trying to keep this footage as raw as possible. Like I said, if you guys have any tips or tricks for me next time, put them in the live chat right over here about how to get the freaking valve core out, because I don't know why, like, these things are stuck on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the bead off of one side and put the stands in. Gotta get your grip out. There we go. Okay. Now we're gonna leave the other side though. Leave the other bead. Don't touch that bead because that'll definitely mess it up there. So here's what we're gonna do. We need to get one side of the tire back over here. So let me grab lever here, and then what we're gonna do this time, man, I'm frustrated because this shouldn't be this hard of a job, you know? Okay, so I'm just gonna take just a little section out of it like this. Okay, I'm not gonna take the whole bead off because it's a pain in the ass, right? So I'm going to flip it over, so I have just a little section of bead out just like that, and then I'm going to flip it over and then I can dump my stands in that way, okay? Okay, so it says for the amount to put in, I got to take the seal off of this, I haven't even taken the seal off yet. So it says the amount to put in, these are 2.6 inch wide tires. On the back of the stands bottle, it says to put in 2 to 4 ounces per tire. So that's what I'm going to do today, and just a little glug glug here, and we'll be good to go. So I'm going to try to get you guys the best shot possible. And glug 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 glug. And we'll see how much that is. And that is right around 3 ounces or so. Oh, let's just do a little more here. Bloop, bloop. Okay, and so now you keep the stem upright, you keep the wheel upright, and then reinstall that little section of tire that you took out in order to do this. Now this is where it can get messy, So just be cautious. Now remember, the other bead is already sealed, so you can kind of lean the tire down like this, because it will not leak out that other side. So use your grip and pull it on there like that. Okay, and now we are ready to inflate again. Go ahead and get my pump. Can you guys see okay? And if this doesn't seal up, then I'll have to get some more water and soap and put it on this outside bead here, the side that's off. So let me move this over here like this. There we go. Okay, so that's inflated to 35 psi, which is normally about what they recommend when you're installing this. And so now we got to do a little trick. I wasn't sure if they mentioned this or not on the bottle, but on the back side of the bottle it says rotate and bounce inflated wheel to distribute sealant thoroughly. So that's exactly what we're going to do now, and hopefully we'll get this sealed up and finished. And so you just roll it around like this and distribute it throughout the entire tire. Man, we have no air leaking out. This is like the best case scenario for tubeless sealant. I'm super excited. And then once you have that, I've always found that it's best that you bounce it and you rotate it just like this. So bounce it off the floor and rotate it, do that like a dozen times or so, and it'll really help seal that rim up. Just like that. I think we're going to be okay. As I'm bouncing this around and feeling, I have amazing sealant around here. The tire has sealed up perfectly. I don't need to do anything else. This tire is done. So every time that I've ever gone tubeless, there's always something little that stops you or prolongs the process, but overall, going tubeless is generally easy. The steps are easy, but there are some difficulties along the way. Every time that I've ever done it, there always has been. So in the chat, let me know if you guys are running tubeless or tubes. It seems to be pretty even when it comes to the crowd. A lot of the old school guys still run the tubes. They love the tubes. They'll never switch. A lot of us younger guys, we run tubeless. And I think it's just a personal preference. So let me know in the live chat right over here to the right of what you guys run and why. And I hope you've enjoyed this premiere video. Make sure you check out our website, full of apparel, stickers, hats, all that good stuff. You'll really help support the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on next week's episode. Peace out, guys. So if you guys were wondering what I'm going to be doing for the next 30 minutes, that tire I just mounted, the tread direction is wrong. So on a side note, make sure you guys always check your tread direction.